Welcome back to the Upshot. My name is Jack Rivlin, and I'm joined, as always, by Zach Sweeney-Lynch.
Hi, Jack.
Hello, mate. Welcome back. Today we are discussing another twist in the Jens Lehmann chainsaw massacre. Sheffield United are circling the plug hole, and Australia coach Eddie Jones traumatises another young group of stars. So lots of excitement. Zach, do you want to kick us off? What's going on with Jens Lehmann?
Yeah, so Jens Lehmann, I think if you'd told me during Jens Lehmann's invincible pomp with Arsenal that he would one day attack his neighbours with a chainsaw, I think I'd probably have said, yep, yeah, that sounds
right,
like him. And 2021, exactly that happened. So you probably remember the story from the time. Jens Lehmann was in a dispute with his neighbours over a garage that they'd built. So he lives somewhere in Bavaria, really beautiful spot. He's got a view of the lake, and his neighbours built this garage. And Jens was furious for a long time.
Why?
Basically, because he claimed that the garage was spoiling his view of the lake.
Right.
Which, you know, that is
quite
annoying.
annoying.
That is annoying. You think maybe take it up with the local authorities or something.
Object.
But Jens instead, in the dead of night, snuck into his neighbour's property, disabled the CCTV, and basically attacked their garage with a chainsaw. So he got inside and was like trying to like saw through timbers. And
all quite on brand.
This is very on brand. And
hasn't he also? I read that he's also been up to like other minor crimes in Germany. So there was a thing where he was basically, you know, when you're trying to leave a car park, and if you don't want to pay the like 10 quid to get out of the car park, you go up really close behind someone who's going out and follow them so the barrier doesn't come down on you.
Yeah.
And he got caught doing that, and he'd also got caught like using his phone in the car. And when the police went round to
take his driving license.
Oh yeah, to
right?
confiscate his driving license, obviously, because he shouldn't be driving. What did he say to the policewoman? He said something like, "There must be a malfunction in your brain."
Seems a bit rich.
Yeah, very rich, coming from Jens Lehmann. So he's now.
So this has been like an ongoing court case for a while. His neighbours accusing him of vandalism, rightly so.
Yep.
And a German court has now ordered Jens to take it's called an antisocial behaviour disorder test.
Right.
Which, I don't know.
Formerly known as being a nutter.
If I was a betting man, then
which way the test's going to go? Is it a simple yes or no? Or are you mental?
I don't know. Is there a sliding scale of...
I mean, everyone knows he's mental, as you said at the beginning. So, do you remember, like, he got sent off in the Champions League final against Barcelona for a very rash tackle? And then afterwards, he said, everyone was like, aren't you disappointed? And he was like, oh, here, I've got the quote. The only solace I get is the hope that people always meet twice. There are always opportunities to settle old scores, right? So, again...
Do you think Mark van Bommel is still looking twice every time he leaves the house? Do you think it was Mark van Bommel and Puyol, I think, had been...
who got him sent off.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly vengeance is a big thing for him. And do you remember, he also got sent off in the Bundesliga for shoving his own teammate. Yeah. I think he's the most red-carded keeper in German football. And to be fair, there's some competition because you got Oliver Kahn. My favourite Oliver Kahn moment is when he ran up for a corner in injury time. Like they just needed a late goal, and instead of heading it in, it came to him, and he just double punched the ball into the goal. Red card. Anyway, so what's going to happen to Lehmann? He's going to have this test, which is what?
Yeah. So I don't know. Will that get him off? Will he?
Oh, like pleading insanity. He is mental. Yeah.
Well, there's antisocial behaviour disorder, which you think, I don't know if you need to, if you've broken into your neighbour's house and vandalised it with a chainsaw, then I think you're slightly past antisocial tests.
Is that a real disorder? Or is that like until 1995 that was known as being a violent wanker?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Look forward to it anyway. Imagine him coming over your fence with a chainsaw. All right, that's Jens Lehmann. We'll keep you abreast of any further twists.
Yeah, but talking of unfortunate mishaps for goalkeepers, you probably saw Sheffield United were absolutely hammered 8-0 by Newcastle on Sunday, and it wasn't going down well. among the Bramall Lane faithful. But I don't know if you saw this picture of a woman who at 7-0 just, she's probably had enough, and she just whipped out her latest John Grisham novel to like tuck into that, which, I mean, you can't blame her. And she stayed a lot longer than most of their fans.
Yeah, it was pretty empty by the end. I mean, fair enough.
Fair enough.
It was, what was it, 4-0 by half-time? I mean, you're leaving at half-time, aren't you?
Yeah.
Although, remember when Newcastle came back from 4-0 down against Arsenal?
True.
Didn't go that way this time.
Yeah.
Also, I love looking at the pictures. She has just cracked into that book as well, right? she wasn't already reading it. Good foresight to bring a book.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah. Speaking of fans leaving early, did you see Messi got substituted in the 39th minute for Inter Miami? I don't know if he was injured or whatever. And like hundreds of fans just started pouring out the ground.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, is
that
it football?
That is pretty.
I know we love to bash these like the Saudi League and the MLS a little bit, but you see stuff like that and you're just like, are you guys football fans? What's the point? What are you there for? Just a selfie?
Just for the Instagram shots.
Slightly pathetic. I think the Premier League will be secretly delighted that Paul Heckingbottom, the Sheffield United manager, is about to lose a job, because Heckingbottom is not the sort of name that the marketing team want to see in the Prem. They probably think it's kind of bad for the brand. They want like a Spaniard with designer stubble and a grey knitted V-neck and a name like Javi Garcia Mendez, who's shit but has the right sort of brand profile for a global. Yeah, especially when the Saudis are sort of pilfering Premier League players. They need it to feel international. And Paul Heckingbottom's name, in their eyes, probably doesn't do the job.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel bad that we're being so negative on Sheffield after our lovely Neil Warnock loving last week, but it's a cool game.
Yeah.
Especially for Paul Heckingbottom.
Yeah.
Talking of getting rid of your gaffer, Eddie Jones, the pretty divisive former England coach, has been managing Australia in the Rugby World Cup, and they fell to a record defeat yesterday to Wales, 46. There's a lot of talk of him getting sacked, but he's on a 5-year contract. He's meant to be there till the next World Cup, which they're hosting. And there's a few rumours now. So apparently he 2 weeks before the tournament, he had a secret job interview with Japan, which might seem a bit weird to non-rugby fans, but I think Japan have quite a lot of cash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was thinking Australia, that's as big as a job comes, really, for an Australian rugby coach.
Well, yeah, except rugby's not that big in a lot of Australia. It's quite regional.
Oh, yeah.
And he says he's getting paid fuck all. He said, I'm basically a volunteer. So I think, he's always a bit...
Is that true?
Yeah, are you? You're a fucking shit one, if you are. But it's weird because he was like this super coach, and it's like his powers have been fading, and he picked a weird Australia team. And we can't let a discussion of Eddie Jones go without I just want to quickly retell the story that we tell on our Rugby Wrong'uns podcast episode about when Eddie Jones was England head coach and how he traumatised one of his coaches. So he, in a team meeting, one of his assistants made like a slightly stupid comment, and he just laid into him in front of everyone, gave him like a proper bollocking, really embarrassing, humiliated the poor bloke. Anyway, afterwards, Eddie called the guy into his office, and the bloke's like, great, round 2. And instead, Eddie says to him, look, mate, I'm really sorry about how I treated you earlier. Here's a steak for you and the missus. Am I going to continue his accent? He does sound like that, through his like Cheshire cat grin. Here's a steak, take it home, cook it for your missus, and that's my apology. So he gives him this like bag from the butcher, and they're always like
quite a strange gift anyway.
Yeah, it is quite weird. Like, sorry for humiliating you, might have been more appropriate.
Yeah.
Just stop bollocking me in front of everyone might have been a better gift. But anyway, he gives him this bag of meat, and it's like wrapped in layers of plastic, so you don't really know what's in there. Coach takes it home, sees his wife, and is like, pretty weird day at the office. Like, Eddie
gave me a steak.
Yeah, Eddie chewed me out in front of everyone, and then he gave me a steak, or 2 steaks, I think, for us. Anyway, so let's have them. So his wife's like, oh, okay, great. Like, she makes a marinade, nips the shop to get some veg to go with it.
Peppercorn sauce.
Yeah, peppercorn sauce, or Café de Paris. Fires up the griddle pan, and they open the bag, and inside is just a bag of cheap sausages. And he's like, what? And then just as he's opening it, and like they're both looking at the sausages, he gets a text from Eddie Jones, and it says, you're not ready for steak yet, mate. You're a sausage. Up your game.
You're a sausage.
Yeah. It's like the weirdest mind game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's even allowing his psychological torture to infiltrate the home.
Yeah, it's destroying
there's
marriages.
there's no way you're safe.
Do you think his game there is like, I am also going to humiliate you in front of your wife?
Yeah. Not only have I humiliated you in front of all of your colleagues.
Yeah. Now your wife.
Now even your own
thinks
wife.
you're a sausage, worst of all. I don't actually know what sausages they were, but I picture them being quite shit. Although I prefer the shit cheap ones. So. Probably prefer sausages to steaks. I think I said that on the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, personally. Anyway, that story is courtesy of former England scrum half Joe Simpson. So it's not just some bollocks that we've made up before we get angry Eddie Jones fans in the comments, if any of them exist.
Yeah. He'll get in the comments.
Well, he's gonna have a lot of time on his hands. Cool. Before we finish, a couple of funny clips. What have we got?
Yeah. So Jamie Vardy scored a penalty for Leicester against Bristol City at the weekend, and I think the Bristol City fans have been giving him stick the whole game. And when he scored, he ran the length of the pitch, Adebayor style, and did his sort of weird celebration that he does in front of them. Good. It's good to see he's still got it.
Yeah, it kind of lacked the intensity. The Adebayor one, he sprints and knee slides, whereas Vardy by the end is like basically walking.
Yeah, I mean he is about 35.
Yeah, he's scored a couple of goals this season, right? They're top of the championship.
Yeah.
Because I guess everyone was sort of wondering like, where does Jamie Vardy go from here? But I reckon he'll get them back up.
Yeah, he'll be a top championship striker. I think.
Yeah. It's good to see the old warhorse still has some life in him. Speaking of absent friends, Joao Cancelo's been on a weird journey. He obviously he left Man City after he threw a ball at Pep in anger in Man City training, and Pep was just immediately like, "You're out." And then he went to Bayern Munich, and who was managing Bayern Munich? Not too cool. Nagelsmann, and he fell out with him as well. I think just because he was on the bench. Anyway, he's now wound up at Barcelona, which he's landed on his feet. And he got man of the match on the weekend, but there was a really enjoyable clip of his interview where he just suddenly drifts into quite a sort of terrifying, demonic gurn as his eyes bulge.
Yeah, he's absolutely possessed.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much more to say about him doing that. It's just a funny little clip. Right, I think that's all we got time for, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, mate, thanks a lot.
Cheers.
And thank you for watching. If you are enjoying this, please hit the subscribe button so you can get it twice a week. Cheers.